Welcome back to 831 Living Your Best Life podcast. All this week we've been celebrating the World Alpine Ski Championships in Cortina d'Ampezzo in Italy and Alpine Canada, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary. Alpine Canada gave me so much and gave me the best life ever by allowing me to ski all over the world and represent it and travel to places I never even thought I would ever get to see. And in addition, this week we've been answering questions that you've sent me over the years of people that have wanted my help for themselves or for their people or for their kids. Today's question, how do you inspire character in someone? Well, we live 3 kilometers from Colonel Irvin Junior High School, where I would attempt to go back to school. Yes, I was skiing. I made the ski meisters, and my memory did not work, and the emotional changes in me paralyzed every effort in education. I had to journal everything to remember things. My passion and love for skiing grew in anticipation, and I rode my bike or ran to and from school every day. But I had to be up early on the farm, so it made it easy to get up early in Calgary. And once harvest was finished at the farm, I was back in school that second year. Every day I crossed the valley over North Mount Drive Bridge. The valley was about 50 feet deep, and Spy Hill rode up to about 400 feet above where the bridge was to the top. It faced northeast, so the snow stayed. And one day, when I was running home, I realized I could go skiing. I could get up early and ski under the North Mount Drive streetlights. So I'd ride my bike in my ski boots, stuff my training skis, poles, and slalom gates under the bridge, and carry my clothes, school books, and meals in my knapsack. I would climb up, pack the snow, ski down, repeat. Physical training uphill, ski training downhill. 168th. Next week, I got to be 167th. I was on my plan, and every week I had to get in at least 40 hours of skiing a week. Fitter, stronger, better, skating, poling, starting. My plan. Link 20 turns from the dark to into the light. Repeat. And just do it over and over again from 4:30 in the morning till 8:30 when the bell went at Colonel Irvin. And then at lunchtime, and then after school till my mom picked me up and took me home. And then she would take me back out to one of the skis, Happy Valley, or Pascapoo as it was known then, now Can Olympic Park, and I would ski till the lift closed. That second year at Colonel Irvin, the homeroom teacher asked us to come prepared to tell what our dreams were. The phys ed teacher, Larry Chase, heard in the teacher's lounge that I wanted to be an Olympic ski racer, and the kids laughed and mocked me. He had noticed me skiing under the streetlights before school, at lunch, and after school, and so he had a plan. One day I came into school, and sitting at my desk was a hardback book, one of those expensive coffee table books, and it was called The Greatest Challenge, the story of Canada's team at the 1964 Olympic Games. Emotionally overwhelmed, I studied every page. I wanted to keep it. I didn't want to give it up. I had been taught better, though, and there I found the picture of the men's team. I looked at it, studied it, but realized I had to give the book back. I gave it to my homeroom teacher, Miss Costanza, and told her she must have left it on my desk. She looked at it and said, "Take it to the library, it's not mine." I handed it to the librarian, and she looked through it, and she said, "You better take it to the office, somebody must have lost it." I walked to the office, and the principal said, "If you check back around 5 o'clock and no one has claimed it, you can have it. There's no name in it." I had a tough time that day concentrating in school and on my skiing. At lunch, I went skiing, but all I could think about was the book. I was learning a great lesson about what you think about when you are doing what you love to do, and realized that learning how to concentrate better was something I really needed to work on. After school, I went back skiing, and right at 4:45, I packed my gear underneath the bridge again, and I ran the 150 meters to the school in my ski boots and asked the principal. And he came out handing me the book. "It's yours," he said. Wow. I memorized the Canadian team and their results. Best Canadian male, Peter Duncan, he finished 19th. Gary Battistella, Jean-Guy Brunet, and Roddy Hebron. And Nancy Green was 7th, and Nancy Holland and Karen Daka and Linda Crutchfield became names that were burned into my brain. They were Alpine Canada heroes of mine. Years later, I asked the coach of the Calgary Stampeders if I could run the stairs at McMahon Stadium because Dr. Lee Coyne had told me that was one of the best ways to build power in my legs. They always said yes. And Jack Gotta said yes. And when he said yes, he said, "And you should thank your trainer, Larry Chase." Why, I asked. Jack told me what Larry had done. I found out that day that Larry Chase noticed the abuse I took for expressing my dream, and yet he saw the evidence of my commitment. He wanted to test me and see if I was just a character or a person of character. He purchased the book, and with the cooperation of the homeroom teacher, librarian, and principal, I would go by my locker 3 times before I arrived at the office, and he watched from a distance and wanted to see if I would just put the book in my locker because I didn't want to do the right thing. He watched, and I returned the book. One kind thing is watching someone's actions to see if they have character and then telling them you were impressed by the character qualities they exhibit. My quote for the day: "The bright lights of the arena don't build your character, they reveal the character you already have." I'm Jungle Jim Hunter, and you're listening to 831 Living Your Best Life podcast, and I hope you've been inspired and empowered today to live your best life. Please go to your favorite podcast provider and download the program, subscribe, and click on like, and pass it on to someone else, and let us know how we can help you, what subjects you would like us to help you be better at. My personal dare today is to ask you to look for opportunities of character and make sure you compliment the person that you see exhibiting it, no matter how small an act it is. Your 1% challenge: 8 minutes of this podcast, and look for 8 to 31 people that display character and compliment them all in their actions. I hope you'll have grown before we meet next time. Thanks for listening.